Chapter 41. The Twins Attack. While moving forward, Wu Di kept an eye on the road ahead and the central control screen while casually opening the system trading channel. He still wanted to see if there was anything he needed on the trading channel. The light blue trading panel scrolled rapidly, mostly containing ordinary information about trading food, weapons, or fuel. Wu Di scanned through it quickly until his gaze suddenly paused. The information on a blueprint firmly grabbed his attention. Item: Vehicle Water Condenser Blueprint, Blue Quality. Effect: Vehicle Item. After installation, it can produce 10 liters of drinkable purified water daily. Crafting requirements: metal block ×3, rubber ×sewn, plastic ×sewn, glass ×sewn, electronic component ×1. Installation requirement: level 2 or higher vehicle. Seller's request: 1,000 units of fuel. 1,000 units of fuel. Wu Di's eyelids twitched. 1,000 units of fuel was an exorbitant price for the vast majority of players at this stage. Many people didn't even have enough for traveling, let alone enough to trade for a blueprint. But this vehicle water condenser was exactly what he needed right now. With it, it wouldn't just be for daily drinking. Wu Di could imagine that after strengthening it with his talent, the output would certainly increase, which would then solve his bathing problem. Without hesitation, Wu Di directly clicked on private chat and quickly typed a line. "Hello, is the price for this vehicle water condenser blueprint negotiable?" After sending the message, he expected to wait for a while, but unexpectedly, the other party replied the very next second. "No need to discuss the price. This blueprint can be given to you directly. No material exchange is needed." Wu Di frowned slightly. Just as he was about to ask who the other party was and what they wanted, the third message arrived one after another. "You are that Wu Di who is #1 on the vehicle leaderboard, right? If you are willing to let us join your team, this blueprint will be our joining fee." This time, Wu Di was truly stunned. He thought for a moment and replied, "What do you mean? How many people are there?" "It's just me and my sister together." Thinking of the team-up scroll he had obtained, Wu Di wasn't surprised. It was normal for such an item to exist in a region with tens of thousands of people. He then asked, "How did you know I was #1 in the world?" "I saw it as soon as the vehicle leaderboard went online. Didn't you also collect vehicle cores on the regional channel before? I remembered your avatar. Although I wasn't sure if it was the same person, now I'm certain that you are Wu Di." Before Wu Di could reply, the other party sent another message. "Am I not amazing? Hey! Even if I am that world #1, why do you think I would team up with you just because of a blueprint?" Wu Di did not let his guard down, but the information the other party sent next truly tempted him. Silver grade talent. Twin Lotus. Effect: can designate a teammate to significantly increase their talent effect, lasting 10 minutes, usable 3 times daily. Silver grade talent. Lotus Twin. Effect: can designate a teammate. When they open a supply crate, there is a probability of triggering a supply boost, obtaining additional quantity or quality improvement, usable 3 times daily. These are my and my sister's talents. How about it? Aren't they powerful? Your talent must be very strong, and with our talents helping you, it will surely be even stronger. How about it? Are you tempted now? The messages from the other party came one after another. Wu Di was already thinking when he saw the talents. He did indeed have a team-up scroll, but this team-up scroll was intended for recruiting Su Wanwan. Secondly, he wasn't sure if these sisters were trustworthy. In a world like this, he didn't dare to turn his back on such strangers. Just as Wu Di was deep in thought, the other party sent another item's information. Wind and rain together, special item. 1. After binding team members, any member can instantly teleport a bound teammate to their side. Teammates can be teleported together with their vehicle, limited to 1 time. 2. After binding team members, a life and death bond is triggered. For every member who dies, all members lose 50% of their base attributes. When only 1 member remains in the team, that member loses 99% of their base attributes. 3. Maximum of 3 members. Currently bound, Lin Shi, Lin Yu, currently usable 1/3. Note, share the benefits, share the risks. This is the contract item that best binds trust and tests life and death. How about it? With this, you can rest assured, right? My sister and I just want to survive and find our parents, otherwise we wouldn't team up with anyone. Wu Di looked at the information sent by the other party, truly finding it hard to believe. Then, thinking of their talents, he felt it wasn't unacceptable. He thought for a moment and replied, I will consider it and give you an answer before tonight. Okay, add me as a friend first, otherwise we won't be able to contact you. Player Lin Yu requests to add you as a friend. Accept. Chapter 42. Special item. The RV continued to move at a steady speed along the empty and desolate highway, but Wu Di's mind was no longer on driving. With one hand on the steering wheel, his gaze seemed to rest on the road stretching toward the horizon, but his thoughts were in turmoil. The conversation he just had with Lin Yu was like a massive boulder thrown into a calm pool, leaving him unable to settle for a long time. A vehicle-mounted water condenser, silver-grade dual-support talents, and that special contract item, through thick and thin, as well as a pair of twin sisters who had come to him with a clear goal. It all came too suddenly, too coincidentally, and was far too tempting. Wu Di simply stopped the car and focused his mind, carefully weighing the pros and cons of forming this team. He knew very well that in this survival game where death was a constant threat, any decision regarding companions could directly determine his ultimate fate. If he successfully teamed up with these sisters and then found a chance to bring Su Wanwan into the fold, his future development speed would skyrocket. He could almost imagine the terrifying pace at which his strength would increase. Just thinking about it made Wu Di's heart race slightly. But reason quickly pulled him back to reality. The problem lay with that special item. Through thick and thin, it bound 3 people in a life and death bond. If one teammate died, everyone's current attributes would be halved. If only one person remained, 99% of their current attributes would be deducted. Wu Di currently had a physique of 112, which seemed invincible. But once the penalty was triggered, his attributes would drop to a mere 1 point something, making him no different from a cripple. In a monster-infested wilderness, that was no different from suicide. This wasn't a teaming item, it was clearly a shackle of shared life and death. Furthermore, he knew almost nothing about Lin Yue and her sister. What were their personalities like? Were they trustworthy companions, or... In this survival game, it was never the monsters that were terrifying, but pig teammates. A single mistake, a moment of panic, or a betrayal could drag everyone into the abyss together. The more Wu Di thought about it, the tighter his brow furrowed. He wasn't that he was afraid to take risks, but he didn't want to inexplicably hand his life over to 2 complete strangers. He spent a full 2 hours in deep thought. I'll gamble on it. With my current strength, do I really need to fear them playing tricks? At worst, I'll just keep them bound. The benefits were too immense, enough to make him willing to take the risk. If he gave up out of fear, he would only stagnate and eventually perish in some future crisis. Having cleared his mind, the last trace of hesitation in Wu Di's heart completely vanished. No longer hesitating, he opened his friend list and found Lin Yu, whom he had just added. I've made up my mind. I can team up with you. Less than a second after the message was sent, the other side replied immediately, filled with surprise and joy. Really? That's great. I knew you would agree. Teaming up is fine, but the through thick and thin item must be traded to me first. I will be the one to use it. He didn't hide his thoughts and stated the reason bluntly. I need to confirm the authenticity of this item to avoid any issues. You don't have to worry about me stealing your item either. I can trade you the armor-piercing Tang Saber. The value of a purple-quality weapon isn't much lower than your item. This was a decision he had made after careful consideration. On one hand, holding the contract item himself would give him a basic sense of security. On the other hand, he wanted to see if his talent could be used on this kind of special contract item. If it's successfully promoted, would there be a possibility for the item to become even safer? As for the armor-piercing Tang Saber, he had his own plans. This was just a test, and there would be no loss regardless of the outcome. He remained the party with the initiative in this trade. "No need, I'll trade the item directly to you," Lin Yu replied without any hesitation. "Ding, player Lin Yue has initiated a trade with you. Through thick and thin, special item, ×1. After confirming the trade, Wu Di did not hesitate at all. Use talent, rule breakthrough, to promote through thick and thin, ding, talent, rule breakthrough in effect. Item promoted to rank 2. Through thick and thin has been promoted to life and death together. Life and death together, special item. 1. After binding team members, any member can instantly teleport a bound teammate to their side. Teammates can be teleported along with their vehicles, regardless of the environment, limited to once per day. 2. After binding team members, life and death together is triggered. For every additional member, all members' base attributes increase by 10%. For every member that dies, all members' current attributes increase by 30%. When only one person remains in the team, that member's current attributes increase by 100%, lasts for 1 hour. 3. Maximum of 8 members. Currently bound, Lin Shi, Lin Yu, currently available, 6/8. 4. Born on the same path, existing with one heart. Those who break faith cut off their own path. Those who keep the promise coexist in desperate straits. Remarks: forge a soul contract with teammates, using faith as the rope and survival as the promise. Violators will surely face sanctions. Wu Di was a bit stunned. The promoted item had no negative effects at all. They were all positive. The team capacity had expanded to 8 people, and even the teleportation function had become a daily life-saving miracle. However, he didn't understand the 4th effect at all. Chapter 43, The Sisters. Taking a deep breath, Wu Di suppressed the confusion in his heart and stopped dwelling on that incomprehensible 4th effect. With a thought, he directly chose to use life and death together, adding himself to the team already pre-bound with Lin Shi and Lin Yu. The system prompt flashed gently. "You have successfully joined the team. Current members Wu Di, Lin Shi, Lin Yu." Just after joining the team, Wu Di could clearly feel the changes in his body. He had become stronger again. Without rushing to check his stats, Wu Di immediately sent a message to Lin Yu. "I'm pulling you both over now." As soon as the message was sent, Wu Di selected the teleport teammate function. The next moment, a faint, almost invisible glimmer spread out 10 meters away from his RV. The air distorted slightly, and a level 2 van appeared out of thin air, landing steadily on the desolate highway. Before the RV's door could even open, Wu Di heard a crisp and slightly excited female voice. "Wow, we really teleported directly. Even the vehicle came with us." The voice was lively and bright. One could tell it was the younger sister, Lin Yue, just by listening. Before Wu Di even stepped out of the door, he heard Lin Yu's voice again. Sister, look, it's a RV. It's so big." Wu Di slowly pushed open the door and stepped down. Under the sunlight, the door of the van also opened at the same time. 2 figures stepped down one after the other. At first glance, Wu Di couldn't help but feel a slight shock in his heart. It wasn't that he hadn't seen women before, but it was the first time he had encountered a pair of twins, as eye-catching as the ones before him. Both were 19 years old, with almost identical appearances, fair skin and exquisite features, yet their temperaments were completely different. The one walking in front had a high ponytail, with the stray hairs on her forehead looking fresh and neat. Her eyes were large and bright, as if they held stars, and her whole body exuded a lively, extroverted, and energetic vibe. Following behind her, the other had smooth, long hair draped over her shoulders and falling to her waist. Her temperament was quiet and gentle, with a hint of faint shyness between her brows. Her gaze was clean and soft. She was clearly the quiet, introverted type who didn't like to speak much. "Wow, big shot, Wu Di. Why are you just wearing a pair of big shorts?" "How unseemly," the girl in front said. Despite her teasing, her eyes couldn't help but glance curiously at the RV behind Wu Di. That was the level 4 vehicle ranked number 1 on the World Vehicle Leaderboard. Just looking at it from a distance, it was much more overbearing than their level 2 van. Get inside the vehicle first, it's too hot outside, Woody said. Okay, my sister and I will go in for a tour. Lin Yu's eyes sparkled, eager to try. Woody retracted his gaze, suppressed the slight sense of amazement in his heart, regained his calm expression, and stepped aside to clear the doorway. Thank you, big shot Woody. Lin Yu cheered, naturally reaching out to gently grab her sister Lin Shi's wrist, and skipped toward the RV. Being pulled by her sister, Lin Shi looked up at Woody with some embarrassment, her gaze shy as she gave a soft nod as a greeting, without saying a word. The three of them boarded the vehicle one after another. Upon entering the RV, cool and comfortable air rushed toward them, making it feel like a completely different world from the parched and desolate wilderness outside. Lin Yu couldn't help but let out a small gasp of wonder. Wow, big shot Woody. It's so cool in here. The air conditioning is amazing. Our van is still hot even with the AC on. How did you do it? So impressive. Sister, there's a bathroom. We can take a shower. Lin Yu was incredibly curious, looking here and touching there, yet she knew her boundaries and didn't mess with anything, her eyes simply full of wonder. Meanwhile, the elder sister, Lin Shi, sat quietly on the sofa with her hands gently placed on her knees, sitting upright like an obedient student. Woody closed the door and sat down next to Lin Shi, just about to say something. Lin Yu immediately walked over to Lin Shi and reached out to protect her. Big shot Woody. Although we asked for your protection, you aren't allowed to have any perverted thoughts about my sister. Otherwise, I'll lose it with you. There's a contract, you know. Sitting nearby, Lin Shi's face clearly turned red upon hearing her sister's blunt words. She gently tugged at Lin Yue's clothes and whispered, Xiao Yu, don't talk nonsense. Looking at the wary Lin Yue with her small face scrunched up right in front of him, Wu Dai realized something. The RV only had one sofa, and he was currently wearing nothing but a pair of big shorts. He had habitually sat on the sofa, not noticing he was right next to Lin Shi. You sit? It was out of habit, don't mind me. He then stood up and walked to the driver's seat to sit down. All right, big shot Woody, then I won't be formal. Lin Yu stuck out her tongue, gave a giggle, and sat down. By the way, big shot Woody, what was the deal with that item just now? And my sister's and my basic attributes really increased by 30%. I feel super powerful now. I thought I saw it wrong just a moment ago. At this point, Lin Yu suddenly remembered something. A hint of seriousness appeared on her small face as she leaned forward. Also, the effects written on that item. What do betrayer and covenant keeper actually mean? Chapter 44. A gentleman's agreement. Calm down first, let's communicate. Also, there's no need to call me Big Shot. I'm likely older than both of you, so you can call me by my name or call me Big Brother or Uncle. Either is fine. Lin Yu was waiting for an answer with a nervous expression. Hearing this, she nodded immediately, her small hand not forgetting to gently press on her sister's arm. Lin Shi, meanwhile, sat quietly, her eyes slightly lowered, her long eyelashes trembling gently. However, Woody's tone was steady, without a hint of aggressive pressure, which instead made them lower their guard slightly. Uncle? Big shot Woody, you don't look much older than us, do you? Lin Yue couldn't help but ask. Xiao Yu, don't talk nonsense, Lin Shi said softly, looking at her younger sister, then immediately looked at Woody with eyes full of curiosity. That's not the point. Can you tell me, since you've been here for so long, why don't you look like people struggling to survive? Woody spoke slowly, his gaze sweeping lightly over the two of them, noting their clean and tidy clothes and faces. He himself was currently left with only a pair of large boxers, his hair disheveled. Hearing this question, Lin Yu was taken aback. Before she could speak, she heard her sister Lin Shi answer. You also know about my sisters and my talent. Our food and water have always been plentiful. The clothes were also opened from supply crates earlier. We have several sets, and we change them when they get dirty. That's why we look not so disheveled. This answer was reasonable. Woody didn't think too much about it and continued. Didn't you encounter monsters on the way? Mentioning monsters made the relaxed expression on Lin Yu's face fade slightly. She subconsciously moved closer to her sister and lowered her voice. We've encountered them, many times. For the past 2 days, we haven't dared to get out to retrieve any supply crates we've come across. Lin Shi also softly agreed. I don't dare let my sister take risks, which is why I thought about cooperating with you. After a moment of silence, Wu Dai spoke, bringing up the matter they cared about the most. What you're most worried about is probably that life and death together contract, right? Lin Yu's expression changed slightly, and she immediately looked up at Wu Dai without saying a word. Although she was lively and outgoing, she wasn't stupid, especially since the current team contract didn't have clear constraints for teammates. Facing Wu Dai, even though she hadn't said anything, she was filled with inner anxiety. Mr. Wu Di, what's done is done regarding the contract. I only hope we can cooperate happily in the future, Lin Shi said, while gently holding her sister Lin Yue's hand. You don't need to overthink it. From now on, we are teammates. I won't force you to do anything extra, nor will I make things difficult for you. As long as you don't act on your own and cooperate well, I will definitely ensure your safety. Looking at their still somewhat nervous appearance, Wu Di continued. Your talent must unconditionally cooperate with me when I need it. No problem. We will listen to your arrangements during our actions. Lin Shi nodded immediately without hesitation. You won't make us go up first if we encounter danger, right? Lin Yu muttered softly. Rest assured, what I value is the effect of your talent. I won't make you take risks, as long as you don't act recklessly. Understood. Lin Yu immediately raised her hand to promise. My sister and I will definitely be obedient. Very good. Wu Di nodded slightly, his tone returning to calm. Since we've made things clear, from now on we are official teammates. The last important point is that from now on, all resource allocation will be decided by me. Regardless of comfort or safety, my level 4 vehicle is definitely better than yours. When necessary, you might need to abandon the van. No problem, Mr. Wu Di. This is the design blueprint for the vehicle-mounted water condenser. We'll head back first. Call us if you need anything, Lin Shi said. Sister? Lin Yue had just started to speak when a look from Lin Shi stopped the rest of her words. She was then pulled off the vehicle by Lin Shi and returned to the van. Inside the van. Sister, why did you pull me just now? This is an unequal treaty, and he wants us to abandon the van. What if he does something bad to you? What else could we do? We've already reached this point. You don't need to worry too much. Although we can't understand the meaning of the 4th clause of the contract, even if only for the effect of our talent, he won't let anything happen to us. But don't overthink it. Get ready to depart. Chapter 45, Showing Strength. Wu Di did not know about the whispered arguments and worries of the two sisters inside the van. Even if he did, he would only smile it off. In this survival game, life and death are decided in a split second. Lin Shi and Lin Yu were indeed stunningly beautiful, and he would fulfill his promise to protect them. But he would not waste extra breath explaining anything for that. Time would prove everything. He knew that nothing was more important than staying alive. Only by surviving could one find the fundamental truth. He raised his hand and tapped his wristband. Time, 15:45. Temperature, 46 degGC. There was not much time left for today. Without delay, he started the vehicle while sending a message. Lin Yu, get ready to set off. Follow my vehicle closely, keep a 5-meter distance, do not overtake, and do not fall behind. Received. We will definitely keep up. The engine of the RV let out a low and powerful roar as it drove onto the road ahead. In the rearview mirror, the van followed closely behind, maintaining a distance of about 5 meters at all times. More than 40 minutes later, Wu Dai spotted a supply crate ahead. Found it. Wu Dai muttered to himself, slowly pressing the brake, and stopped at a position 20 meters away from the supply crate. Almost the moment he parked, the van in the rearview mirror also stopped. Pushing open the car door, a wave of heat rushed towards his face, but this high temperature no longer felt like anything to Wu Dai. The tremendous improvement in his physique brought far more than just strength. He walked to the side of the van and said, "Stay in the car, do not come out." Received. Lin Yu's voice carried a hint of nervousness, yet it was exceptionally loud. Lin Shi also responded, "We understand, be careful." He quickly approached the target, his gaze locked on the two monster aberrations beside the supply crate, just like the ones from the morning. It took no more than 3 seconds, and the battle was over. Without hesitation, he walked to the supply crate, ignored the system's prompt to open the supply crate, picked it up, and went straight back to the RV. Now, the supply crate needed to be opened by Lin Shi. Her talent could obtain more supplies. He immediately sent a message. "Follow up, let's keep moving." He then started the vehicle and continued forward. In the van behind, Lin Shi and Lin Yu both breathed a sigh of relief. They looked at each other and saw shock in each other's eyes. "Sister, he is just too amazing." Lin Yu lowered her voice, her tone full of amazement. "1 strike per kill, it didn't even take 10 seconds, right? Sister, what do you think he did before? Could he have been a killer or something?" Lin Shi nodded, her eyes fixed on the back of the RV in front. She had seen it clearly through the car window just now. Wu Di's movements were clean and efficient, without any unnecessary actions. He certainly didn't look like an ordinary person. No wonder he can own a level 4 vehicle and occupy the world's #1 position on the vehicle leaderboard, Lin Shi said softly. But he looked so fierce just now. Lin Yu shrank her neck, thinking of the cold look in Wu Di's eyes when he swung his blade, feeling a bit fearful inside. "Sister, what if he goes berserk one day? I won't be able to stop him." "Don't think nonsense. Nothing will happen. We will definitely survive." Lin Shi gently patted her sister's hand. Lin Yu looked at her sister's firm gaze, then looked at the speeding RV ahead. The uneasiness in her heart gradually dissipated, replaced by a faint glimmer of hope. The rest of the road was the same. Stop, kill monsters, take the crate, and continue on. Until 18:30 in the evening, when the sky had obviously turned dark. Wu Di finally parked the RV by the side of the road and sent a message. "Park your car right behind mine. We will spend the night here today." Received. After stopping the vehicle, Wu Di immediately organized the supply crates obtained this afternoon. 1 black iron, 1 bronze, 1 ordinary supply crate. He immediately sent a message to Lin Yu. "Come to my vehicle, open the supply crates." "Coming right away." Wu Di placed the supply crates on the coffee table as Lin Shi and Lin Yu entered the vehicle. "Come on, it's time to show your talent." "Sister, open it quickly. I've already applied a buff to you." Lin Shi nodded and immediately opened the supply crates. Obtained. Metal block times 30. Fuel times 50. Plastic times 18. Rubber times 10. Electronic components times 10. Rice 10 kilograms times 1. Eggs 12 times 1. Beer 12 times 1. Cigarettes, carton, times 1. Panoramic perception radar blueprint, green quality, times 1. Explosion-proof glass blueprint, green quality, times 1. Wu Di was a bit surprised looking at the supplies opened. The basic supplies were indeed more than what he opened himself, but 2 blueprints were opened from 3 supply crates. "Your talent is really very practical." "Of course, my sisters and my talent are an excellent combination," Lin Yu nodded vigorously from the side. Chapter 46, The Cook. "You two rest for a while, I'll go prepare something to eat," Wu Di said, as all the resources were with him. Just as Wu Di was pondering which of the existing ingredients he could use, a soft voice suddenly came from beside him. Could I try?" He turned his head and saw that it was Lin Shi who had spoken. The young girl lowered her head slightly, her cheeks flushed with a faint blush, looking somewhat embarrassed. "You know how to cook." Wu Di was a bit surprised. Lin Shi nodded gently. "I used to do it, often back at home." "My sister's cooking is delicious. You'll never forget it once you've tasted it," Lin Yu added from the side. Wu Di immediately gave up his spot. "Then it's up to you. Go ahead and make whatever you like. Don't be shy. All the food is in the refrigerator." Lin Shi walked over to the refrigerator and opened it. Although she was surprised by the size of the space inside, she didn't say much, simply examining the available ingredients carefully before beginning to prepare them methodically. Her movements were skillful and gentle, clearly indicating someone who cooked often. Wu Di and Lin Yu sat to the side and watched quietly. Soon, a dinner that couldn't be called luxurious, but was certainly sumptuous in this apocalypse, was ready. Steaming hot roasted meat, a large plate of eggs, and a pot of white rice looked exceptionally tempting. You only have ingredients and that jar of all-purpose seasoning powder here. Nothing else. Please don't mind if it doesn't taste good. Lin Shi wiped her hands and said softly, "It's much better than what I've been having. For the past few days, I've just been eating roasted meat and snacks." "Woo! I finally get to eat hot rice," Lin Yu exclaimed, while devouring her food. The three of them sat together, quietly enjoying their dinner. This was the first time Wu Di had eaten a proper meal since entering the Rhodes survival world. "I think I can leave all the cooking to you from now on," Wu Di said, setting down his bowl and chopsticks. After the meal, Lin Yue volunteered to help clean up the dishes, her movements nimble and obedient. Once everything was cleaned up, she suddenly seemed to remember something and looked at Wu Di, feeling a bit embarrassed. "Big brother Wu Di, can we take a bath?" Her voice grew quieter as she spoke, her cheeks turning bright red. After all, they had been in this world for 5 days and had never taken a bath. A girl's desire for cleanliness was far stronger than his. Wu Di was silent for a moment, then answered truthfully, "Sorry, not right now. The vehicle water condenser hasn't been crafted yet, so there's no extra water for bathing for the time being." "Are you short on materials?" "We still have some." "Xiao Yu, go to the vehicle and bring all the materials over," Lin Shi said to Lin Yu. After all, she also wanted to take a bath before there was no way, but now that it was within reach, how could she not care? "Don't rush. Even if we craft it now, it will take some time to collect water, so it's likely impossible today. You two should rest for a while first." Wu Di paused, then continued, "In a little while, I need you to use your talent on me, Lin Yu." After saying this, he walked over to the driver's seat, leaned back, closed his eyes, and began to sort through the important matters he hadn't handled yet today. The most important thing, naturally, was his talent. He still had 3 uses left for today. Besides that, the second effect of his talent could also be used today. As long as it was used reasonably, today might bring a huge boost. Wu Di carefully calculated the items and blueprints he currently possessed in his mind. The storage space expansion design blueprint, blue quality, and the alloy armor design blueprint, blue quality. These 2 had already been enhanced by his talent, so they just needed to be crafted and then enhanced again. Next, the vehicle glass design blueprint, green quality, the engine design blueprint, green quality, the vehicle workbench design blueprint, green quality, the panoramic sensing radar design blueprint, green quality, the explosion-proof glass design blueprint, green quality, and the vehicle water condenser design blueprint, blue quality. These 6 blueprints were all the blueprints he had on hand. There was also the blue quality beast meat, which was something that could increase his own strength, so he had to use his talent once on it. The dilemma was whether or not to use the second talent effect. Previously, the gold quality beast meat had increased his physique by 100 points. If it became orange quality beast meat, he dared not imagine how much it would increase his attributes. These few talent opportunities had to be used in the most critical and practical places. Lin Shi and Lin Yu sat quietly on the sofa and exchanged a glance. Not knowing what he was thinking, they didn't make a sound to disturb him, and only slight breathing sounds remained in the vehicle. Wu Di slowly opened his eyes, his gaze becoming resolute. He had already made up his mind. Chapter 47. Atmospheric Water Generation Unit. Wu Di took a deep breath. His first target was the alloy armor blueprint. The blueprint was of blue quality, and the crafting requirement was 50 metal blocks. He opened the storage interface and checked his existing supplies. Metal block 59. It was just enough. The supplies he had opened during the day had perfectly filled this gap, as if they had been prepared for this very moment. Wu Di's eyes narrowed slightly. He had already made up his mind. The alloy armor had to be crafted first, and then upgraded using his talent. The sudden crisis last night was like a thorn stuck in his heart. No matter how many resources he had, if they couldn't be converted into strength in time, it was all meaningless. Ding, alloy armor crafting complete. Lin Yu, apply your talent buff effect to me, Wu Di said to Lin Yu as he opened his eyes. Okay, big brother Wu Di. Ding, detected that player Lin Yu has cast the talent Twin Lotus on you. Your talent effect has increased. Ding, talent. Rule breakthrough. Activated. Item upgraded by 1 tier. Alloy armor upgraded to Super Alloy Fortress Armor, purple quality. Super Alloy Fortress Armor, purple quality, vehicle item. Significantly increases the overall defensive strength of the vehicle body. Can withstand conventional firearms, impacts, cutting, and explosive shrapnel damage. Detectable installable item. Install immediately. Install. After the installation was complete, Wu Di did not go outside to check the changes to the vehicle body, but continued to follow his plan for the next item. Lin Yu's talent effect only lasted 10 minutes. He had to finish everything within those 10 minutes. He quickly took out his second target, the explosion-proof glass blueprint, green quality. Ding, talent. Rule breakthrough. Activated. Item upgraded by 1 tier. Explosion-proof glass blueprint has been upgraded to explosion-proof tempered glass blueprint, blue quality. Explosion-proof tempered glass blueprint, blue quality. Vehicle accessory. Significantly increases glass strength. Can withstand heavy blunt force, small firearms, and explosive impacts. Crafting requirements, glass times 25, metal block times 2. Installation requirement, level 2 or higher vehicle. Is it just a 1-tier upgrade both times? Wu Di was a bit depressed. His 30% probability of a 2-tier upgrade had absolutely no effect under the boost of Lin Yu's talent. Wu Di just sighed briefly and then began to use his last talent opportunity. Ding, vehicle water condenser crafting complete. Ding, talent, rule breakthrough activated. Item upgraded by 3 tiers. Vehicle water condenser, blue quality, has been upgraded to atmospheric water generation unit, orange quality. Holy crap! Wu Di stood up in surprise. Ever since he obtained this mythic talent, and including today's usage, he had used his talent effect 25 times, and had never encountered that 5% chance of a 3-tier upgrade. He had always thought that 5% probability was fake, but he didn't expect it to actually happen today under the boost of Lin Yu's talent. The only thing that made him laugh and cry was that this unprecedented first 3-tier upgrade actually happened on the most useless item. But this also gave Wu Di hope. What's wrong, big brother Wu Di? Did something happen? Don't scare me. Lin Yu was startled by Wu Di and asked nervously. Although Lin Shi didn't speak, she also looked at Wu Di with concern. It's nothing. The bathing problem might have been solved. You two wait a moment. He immediately checked the other orange item he had obtained. Atmospheric water generation unit, orange quality, vehicle item. It uses molecular-level condensation technology to rapidly extract moisture from the air, ignoring weather factors. Output increases based on energy consumption. After installation, energy consumption plus 100%. The water collection unit comes with water purification and circulation functions, and has 10 cubic meters of water storage space. Installation requirement, level 4 or higher vehicle. Woo! After infinite energy, has the water source problem been completely solved too? Wu Di suppressed the shock in his heart. Install. After the installation was complete, Wu Di found that the atmospheric water generation unit had indeed appeared on the central control screen. He could freely choose whether to consume energy to produce water. Without hesitation, he immediately selected continuous water production. He had never worried about energy. He then turned his seat to look at sisters Lin Shi and Lin Yue and said with a smile, "You two wait a moment. There's water in the vehicle now, and you will be able to take a bath soon." It wasn't just sisters Lin Shi and Lin Yu. He also wanted to take a bath. Over the past 5 days, he didn't know how many times he had wanted to take a proper bath. Really? Can we really take a bath? Lin Yu stood up excitedly, and Lin Shi also showed a look of longing. I just crafted the water condenser, and it's already installed. We just need to wait a while, and there will be water. Big brother Wu Di, The water condenser can only produce 10 liters of water per day. Isn't it too wasteful to use it for bathing? Although Lin Shi was very tempted, she still said with concern, "Yeah, Big Brother Wudi. Why don't we wait a bit longer, until we've saved up enough water?" Lin Yu also realized this and said, "You don't need to worry about that. There will be plenty of water. You can bathe for as long as you want later." Wudi smiled confidently. Although Wudi still didn't completely trust the two sisters, the feeling of showing off in front of two beautiful young women in their prime still made him feel very comfortable. "Don't ask. Don't overthink it. Just get ready to take a bath," Wudi added. "Okay, Big Brother Wudi. I'm going back to get my things." Lin Yu immediately jumped up and prepared to return to the van, and even her form of address became more intimate. Chapter 48. Night Talk. The atmospheric water generator was running steadily, and the water storage level on the central control screen was jumping up at a speed visible to the naked eye. "Big Brother Wudi, Yuer is usually like this. She was always boisterous even when we were at home. Please don't mind her," Lin Shi said softly as soon as Lin Yu left the RV. "There's no need for that. I'm not a petty person. As long as you cooperate, you will definitely receive more than you imagine." Wu Dai was very confident now. Today, his talent effect triggered the 5% probability for the first time, allowing him to see further ahead. He had a feeling that if he was given a little time, the survival game that was a struggle for others would just be a game to him. "If you have any needs, tell me in time. We are a team now. Also, you don't need to worry at all about me doing anything to you. Based on the effect of the life and death together contract, I suspect that teammates cannot harm each other." I will, Big Brother Wudi." After talking about this, the originally tense atmosphere became a bit more relaxed. Big Brother Wudi, open the door quickly. I'm back. It's boiling hot outside. "Come in." Wudi opened the RV door. "Go take a shower. I have some things to handle in the driver's seat up front." After saying that, Wudi walked to the driver's seat and sat down. Lin Shi's cheeks flushed slightly, and she nodded gently, her eyes filled with gratitude. Lin Yu, on the other hand, could not hold back any longer. She excitedly tugged at her sister's sleeve and whispered, "Thank you, Big Brother Wudi. We'll be done very quickly." The two took their simple change of clothes and tiptoed into the shower compartment. Not long after, the soft sound of water came from inside, mixed with a few barely audible, fragmented conversations. The exhaustion, dust, and sweat from days of traveling were washed away bit by bit under the warm water, and even the air in the RV seemed much fresher. Wu Dai leaned back in the driver's seat, closing his eyes to rest while keeping an eye on the movements outside. The deeper the night, the more intense the dangers on the road. Even though the RV was fully armed, he dared not relax in the slightest. Just then, the wristband popped up a notification. Wu Di immediately clicked to view it. "Big Shot, are you there? I opened a new blueprint here, thinking you might be able to use it." It was indeed a message from Su Wanwan. "What blueprint?" "It's a blueprint for a vehicle-mounted water condenser, green quality. I see that everyone is short on water right now, so this should be very useful. You were the first person I thought of." Wu Di was slightly stunned, then laughed. He had just solved the major water source issue, and someone sent a water condenser blueprint. One had to say that fate was mysterious. "I already have this. You should use it yourself." "As expected of a Big Shot so fast. I thought this could be a big help to you." "Just a bit of luck." Wu Di didn't say much about his own affairs, turning to ask, "How is it on your end?" After a few seconds of silence, Su Wanwan replied, "Not very good. The temperature during the day has been getting higher and higher lately. I get dizzy just staying outside for a while. And now there are inevitably monsters next to supply crates. I'm alone, and I don't dare to snatch some of them at all." Wu Di's brows furrowed imperceptibly. Monsters were stronger at night, and the scorching high temperatures during the day made obtaining supplies exponentially more difficult. Su Wanwan was alone and had no combat talent. Her situation was indeed difficult. "Stay safe. Try not to fight head-on. If anything happens, private message me in time and I can help you." "I know, thank you, Big Shot." Just as Wu Di was hesitating whether to invite Su Wanwan to join his team, the sound of water in the shower compartment stopped. Lin Shi and Lin Yu walked out wearing clean clothes. Their hair was slightly damp, their cheeks rosy, and their previously tired and haggard appearance was swept away. They looked refreshed and spirited, like two small flowers washed by the rain. "Big brother Wu Di, we're done washing. It's really so comfortable." Lin Yu smiled brightly, her tone light. Lin Shi also nodded gently. "Sorry for the trouble, big brother Wu Di. We'll go back to our van to rest first and won't disturb you." Stay safe at night. If there's a situation, call me immediately." The sisters agreed and returned to their van. The interior of the RV returned to silence. Wu Di stood up and stretched his muscles. Having entered this apocalyptic world for so many days, he had been accompanied by sweat, dust, and the smell of blood, and had never properly cleaned himself. Now, smelling the faint water vapor in the vehicle, he could finally no longer hold back. He first opened the regional trading channel and searched directly for clothes. He quickly exchanged mineral water for a new set of clothes. He walked into the shower compartment. The warm water poured down, washing over his tense muscles and washing away the exhaustion and dust of the past few days. The warmth enveloped his whole body, and his tense nerves finally relaxed completely. Wu Di closed his eyes and let the water wash over him. At this moment, he was no longer a survivor who was constantly vigilant, just an ordinary person who could finally let down his guard and catch his breath. Chapter 49. Heart of Tai Sui. Not knowing how long he had been lying there, Wu Di slowly opened his eyes and raised his hand to check the time on his wristband, 21:18. The night was deep, and the dangers on the road had not yet reached their peak. But he felt no panic in his heart at this moment. Instead, he felt a sense of anticipation. He knew very well that the most important thing for tonight was finally about to happen. Effect 1 of Rule Breakthrough had already been used up today, but Effect 2 of his talent, after a 3-day cooldown, had long since refreshed. This was the opportunity he valued most today, and it was also a decision he had been brewing for a long time, to use Effect 2 on the piece of blue-quality dog meat dropped by the boss-level monster. In the early hours of the morning, he had consumed a piece of gold-quality beast meat. Just one piece directly increased his physique by 100 points, causing his physique to leap from its original average level to 112 points. During the day, he had already experienced this sense of power, and now he wanted to take a gamble, using the ability of Effect 2 to promote the beast meat to the 3rd tier, reaching orange quality, to see just how much of an attribute boost this orange beast meat could bring, and to see to what new height his own physique could break through. Wu Di took a deep breath, suppressed the anticipation in his heart, took out 1 unit of dog meat, and moved his mind. Activate talent, Rule Breakthrough Effect 2. Target, dog meat, blue quality. Trigger, 3rd tier promotion. Ding, talent, Rule Breakthrough, Effect 2 activated. Dog meat, blue quality, has been promoted to Heart of Tai Sui, orange quality. As soon as the system prompt ended, the beast meat in Wu Di's palm had completely changed its appearance. The whole body glowed with a warm and majestic luster, and its surface was surrounded by a faint layer of mist. When he leaned in, he could smell a unique, crisp fragrance. Heart of Tai Sui, orange quality, special ingredient, can be consumed directly. Effect: after consumption, physique, plus 1,000, and gain the passive effect Iron Body, significantly increasing body toughness and resistance. Note: rely on no external objects. Become a fortress yourself. Everything experienced is tempering. Everything endured becomes sharpness. Looking at the attribute description on the system panel, Wu Di's pupils constricted, and the shock in his heart was hard to suppress. A 1,000-point physique bonus, and the Iron Body passive. With the 112 points of physique this morning, he felt that killing monsters was no harder than crushing an ant. What level would he reach after eating this? Suppressing the agitation in his heart, looking at the Heart of Tai Sui in his hand, Wu Di felt an indescribable urge surge up. Unable to control himself at all, He wolfed down the entire heart of Tai Sui. Suddenly, he felt a gentle power slowly seep into his body, and a sense of comfort spread throughout, so much so that he felt his soul floating out of his body. Wu Di could feel that he was very clear-headed, watching himself from the perspective of an outsider, but under this sensation, he was completely unable to control his body. Oh no, am I going to pass out again? The night is so dangerous. What if a monster rushes over? Will Lin Shi and Lin Yu, will they be in trouble? This thought had just flashed through his mind when he completely lost consciousness and slumped softly against the driver's seat. What Wu Di didn't know was that at this very moment, the sisters inside the van were still discussing him. Sister, it's so strange. Where did Big Brother Wu Di get all that water? The water condenser shouldn't be able to produce that many water resources, right? It really is strange. It must be his talent. Sister, what do you think Big Brother Wu Di's talent actually is? It feels like he's not playing the same version of the game as us. Lin Shi shook her head gently. There's no need to think so much, is there, Xiao Yu? Sister, what's wrong? Lin Shi, lying in the driver's seat, turned to look at her sister who hadn't spoken for a long time. Sister, I don't know if it's my imagination, but you seem to trust him a lot, and— Lin Yu sat up and looked at Lin Shi as she spoke. And what? Lin Shi asked softly. We weren't the kind of people who believed in others so easily before. Lin Yu lowered her voice. But now, I also feel that Big Brother Wu Di is very reliable and very reassuring. Sister, I suspect that there is a problem with that contract. It is influencing our thoughts. Born on the same path, existing with one heart. Lin Shi did not answer her sister's words but lay back down, silently reciting that line from the contract. The sisters suddenly fell silent. As time passed, the sounds of monsters slowly appeared in the surroundings. The lights of the RV in front had still not been turned off, illuminating the area. Sister, are you asleep? I'm a little scared. It's only just 11 o'clock. How come monsters have already appeared outside? Lin Yu's voice was low, but it could not hide the panic in her words. Why doesn't Big Brother Wu Di turn off the lights? Won't it attract monsters? Big Brother Wu Di will come to save us, right, sister? Don't be afraid, Xiao Yu. It's okay. Big Brother Wu Di must have his own plans. Although Lin Shi was also full of worry, she still reached out to hold her sister's hand and comforted her softly. Time passed in the sisters' worry. What the sisters found strange was that they could clearly see the blurry figures of monsters in the distance by the light of the RV. But the monsters never approached. They even had the illusion that the low growls of the monsters were filled with fear. Chapter 50, God Among Men. The sisters drowsily made it until the second half of the night. Seeing that the monsters never approached, they eventually drifted into a deep sleep. What they didn't know was that at this moment, the enhancement within Wu Di's body was nearing its end. A faint light emerged on the surface of his skin. Even while in a comatose state, he exuded an aura that made the monsters fearful, which was the real reason they dared not approach. I don't know how much time had passed, but Wu Di slowly opened his eyes. A flash of confusion first crossed his gaze, only to be immediately replaced by intense sharpness, and an unprecedented feeling surged into his heart. His hearing and vision had also become exceptionally acute. He could clearly hear the faint breathing of the sisters inside the van, see the gravel on the road 100 meters away even though it was pitch black outside, and could even feel the subtle changes in the airflow. Wu Di raised his hand to open his personal attribute panel. Name, Wu Di. Physique, 1445. Spirit, 26. Abilities, shooting mastery, iron body. Note: mental control has not reached the standard, unable to fully command the current physical strength. What does this mean? Is my spirit attribute too low? Wu Di raised an eyebrow slightly. Yet even so, he could clearly perceive the earth-shattering power within his body. From the moment he consumed the heart of Tai Sui, his path in the survival game had completely changed. Before, he was a cautious survivor, but now he had begun to grasp his own destiny. He glanced at the center console screen. Time 4:09. Outside temperature 38 degree. The night was still thick, but he could no longer suppress the restlessness in his heart. He desperately wanted to know just how strong he had become. Woody no longer hesitated. He pushed open the door of the RV and stepped outside. The monsters outside had long since vanished. Woody walked to the edge of the road, bent his knees, and pushed off the ground. His feet instantly crushed the ground into a shallow pit, and his body shot out like an arrow released from a bowstring. The wind howled in his ears as his figure turned into a blurred afterimage. A flash of amazement crossed his eyes, followed by even greater excitement. He bent his knees slightly again, pushed his feet hard against the ground, and the soil was instantly trampled into a deep depression. In the next second, his body soared into the air like an arrow released from a string. A standing jump reached a height of 20 or 30 meters. The evening breeze whistled in his ears. In the moment of suspension, he could clearly see the outlines in the distance. He stretched his limbs and tried jumping continuously. Every time he took to the air, it was light and powerful. It wasn't until the darkness faded and the sky began to cool that Woody stopped, still feeling unsatisfied, his whole body refreshed and exhilarated. He returned to the RV, walked into the bathroom to simply wash off the dust and sweat from his body, and sat back in the driver's seat. I really want to find a monster to test my skills right now. His mind was now entirely occupied with testing his own limits. Did no monsters come by last night either? After calming down, Woody realized that last night had been another safe night. How exactly do I raise my spirit attribute? If I'm already this monstrous without being able to fully utilize my power, if I could fully unleash the power of this 1445 physique, wouldn't I be able to go toe-to-toe with Superman? Now, I'm not short on energy or water. As long as no extreme circumstances arise, I don't need to worry about safety. Continue to live well. I'm getting closer and closer. Just as Woody was lost in his wild thoughts, the time reached 6. The 6th day had arrived. Regional announcement. The survival game has entered the 3rd stage. 1. The road area will no longer refresh supply crates, and public areas have been added. The quantity and quality of supply crates within public areas have been increased. Multiple public areas will refresh randomly within each region. Public areas? Does that mean with other people? Woody thought. Lin Yu, are you awake? Come over here for a moment. Woody stopped thinking about it and prepared to give the sisters some instructions before they set off. Although Woody felt he had nothing to fear from any player, he still didn't want any extra interference. We'll be right there, Big Brother Woody. Not long after, the sisters walked into the RV, rubbing their eyes, looking exhausted. Why are you two so tired? Woody frowned slightly as he looked at the weariness in their eyes. Big Brother Woody, didn't you know? The surroundings were full of monsters last night. Lin Yue couldn't help but speak as soon as she sat down. There were so many surrounding the area and growling constantly. My sister and I only dared to sleep in the second half of the night. It's very strange. There were a lot of them, but they never got close, Lin Chi added softly. That's not important. Upon hearing the sisters' words, Woody realized that it wasn't that there were no monsters last night, but rather that they hadn't attacked. Thinking of other safe nights he had encountered previously, Woody assumed it was still the effect of the lucky pendant, so he didn't dwell on it. He straightened his expression and his tone became serious. In the upcoming public areas, there is a high probability of encountering other players. You must stay close to me. Do not run around, do not make any decisions without permission, and follow my arrangements in everything. Don't worry, Big Brother Woody. We will follow your arrangements. Lin Yu quickly promised. Let my sister cook and we'll set off in the morning, Lin Yue said continuously. Ever since she had eaten a hot meal last night, she never wanted to chew on cold food again. All right, I think I still have some noodles here. We'll set off after we eat. Chapter 51. Rust-corroded wasteland city. After finishing breakfast and getting everything packed up, the time reached 6:50. Prepare to set off, stay close. Received, Lin Yu said, then hurriedly pulled her sister back to the van. Woody walked to the driver's seat, started the vehicle, and the RV slowly pulled away, driving forward along the road. Big Brother Woody, Big Brother Wudai, look. Just after the RV had been driving steadily for over 10 minutes, Lin Yu suddenly sent a private message. Your vehicle points, they've gone up so much. Upon hearing this, Wudai replied, What is it? I remember when I checked yesterday your points were 11,240. Overnight they went up by 10,100. That's just too exaggerated. Wudi paused for a moment and opened the vehicle ranking board. Sure enough, the original 11,240 points had now soared to 21,340, skyrocketing by over 10,000 points overnight. After a moment of thought, he realized the reason. It must have been the installation of the superalloy fortress armor and atmospheric water collection unit last night, which brought him the point bonus. He then raised his hand to open the vehicle panel to check his vehicle information. Vehicle, level 4 vehicle, maximum speed, 200 kilometers per hour. Vehicle accessories items, lucky pendant, gold. Vehicle engine, blue, crystallized bulletproof glass. Blue, high-strength alloy frame. Blue, heavy-duty explosion-proof off-road tire. Blue, vehicle-mounted nuclear reactor. Orange, smart constant-temperature refrigerator. Purple, atmospheric water collection unit. Orange, superalloy, fortress armor, purple. It must be the points from upgrading the vehicle accessories last night, Wudai replied. But that's just absurd. I just looked at the communication channel, and people have been discussing since last night why your vehicle points could rise so quickly. Seeing this, Wudi casually opened the communication channel. Sure enough, everyone was talking about the recent regional announcement and discussing him and his vehicle points. Holy crap, everyone, look at the leaderboard. What the hell is up with the first place points? They went up by over 10,000 in one night. Could it be a system bug? Otherwise, how could it rise so fast? Did you see the full region announcement just now? The game has entered the third stage. Supply crates are no longer spawning on the road, but new public areas have been added, and the quantity and quality of supply crates have increased. Public areas. Does that mean my wife and I can meet up? Has anyone met up to form a team? It's so hard alone, finding supplies during the day, and having to guard against monsters at night. Several of my friends have already died. If I don't get teammates, I really won't be able to survive. Everyone, pay attention. You must be careful in the public area. There will definitely be more monsters. Also, watch out for other people. We're all just trying to survive. Shouldn't we help each other here? Besides, how long can you last without teammates? There are no fools like that, right? There are no laws, no rules, and you might encounter anyone. Don't be too naive. Wudi quickly scanned through a few screens of messages, but there was no valuable information. He casually closed the communication channel, his expression remaining completely calm. How is it? Are a lot of people talking about you? Yeah, it's just some unimportant chatter, Wudi replied. The RV sped along steadily. Wudi only cared about what the public area would look like. Before he knew it, 3 hours had passed. Wudi's gaze narrowed slightly as he looked toward the distant horizon. At the end of the originally desolate and monotonous view, a massive and ferocious silhouette appeared. Towering, fractured remains of skyscrapers pierced the sky. Collapsed buildings were stacked layer upon layer, and the broken walls and ruins presented a dead, grayish-black color under the scorching sun. It was a city that had been completely destroyed. Big Brother Wudi, look ahead. Is that a city? How did it become like this? He used to think doomsday ruins in movies and TV shows were just special effects. Standing in front of the real ruins now, the desolation and terror after the collapse of civilization made one's hair stand on end. Wudi slowly slowed the vehicle down, his eyes fixed on the ruins ahead, his expression turning serious. Just then, a system message popped up. Ding! Public area discovered. Rust-corroded wasteland city. Area: 10,000 square kilometers. Area description: a once prosperous metropolis that became a ruin after the doomsday catastrophe. The area is filled with a large number of supply crates, but also contains a large number of black mist infected. Danger and opportunity coexist. Rust-corroded wasteland city, black mist infected. Wu Di repeated these two names in a low voice. The RV slowly approached the rust-corroded wasteland city. The scene became clearer and more glaring, and the sight before them was increasingly desolate. Collapsed skyscrapers, fractured overpasses, crushed cars, and debris scattered everywhere. Every detail silently told the story of the catastrophe this city had once endured. Wu Di sent a message to Lin Yi, his tone unquestionable. "From now on, you must stay close to me and do not leave my sight." "Understood, big brother Wu Di." Lin Yu knew very well that entering this rust-corroded wasteland city meant facing new dangers. Only by staying close to Wu Di would she and her sister's safety be guaranteed. Wu Di stopped the RV and gazed at the vast expanse of ruins before him. An area of 10,000 square kilometers was too large. He could only explore it step by step. Chapter 52. Ruins, Supermarket. He didn't hesitate any longer and sent a message. "Let's go," entering the city. The two vehicles drove one after the other, slowly entering this boundless, dilapidated city. Collapsed buildings sped past on both sides, and the broken road was riddled with potholes. As they ventured deeper, sunlight was blocked by layers of ruins, and the lighting grew as dim as twilight. Wu Di gazed into the distance, peering through the wreckage of countless high-rises, and locked his eyes onto the very center of the city. A skyscraper stood there, completely dilapidated, yet still the tallest building in the city, like a giant pillar amidst the ruins. Head there, he decided in his mind. Only by standing at the highest point could he see the layout of the entire rust-corroded wasteland city and find clues more easily. The RV and the van drove inward along the relatively smooth main road. 20 minutes passed, and the surroundings remained an endless expanse of broken walls and ruins, stretching as far as the eye could see. Wu Di gradually frowned. The city was too big. It was so large that it was impossible to spot any supply crates scattered in corners, on floors, or in the cracks of the ruins from inside the vehicle. The 10-meter search range on the central control screen had also not shown any information about supply crates. Continuing to drive aimlessly like this was just a waste of time. Just then, a relatively intact building on the right side of the road caught his eye. It was several stories high with a dilapidated exterior wall, and half of its sign had fallen off, but it could vaguely be identified as an abandoned supermarket. Wu Di stepped on the brake, bringing the RV to a steady stop on the side of the road. He immediately sent a private message to Lin Yu. "Get out of the car, come to my vehicle, and let's discuss how to proceed." "Okay, coming right away." Less than half a minute later, sisters Lin Shi and Lin Yu looked around cautiously and hurried into the RV. Lin Yu's face was still a bit pale. This dead, silent city made her feel panicked from the bottom of her heart. "Big brother Wu Di, this place is too scary. It's very oppressive. It feels like I can't breathe." Lin Shi also frowned slightly. Wu Di nodded and pointed outside the window. "The rust-corroded wasteland city is too big. We can't find any supply crates from the vehicle, so we must get out and explore. There's a supermarket nearby. Let's go in and see if there's anything useful." Lin Shi instinctively looked at the pitch-black building outside the window and whispered, "The writing here is all in Chinese characters. But no matter how I look at it, it doesn't seem like any city from our original world." "It's normal that it's not our original world," Wu Di said in a flat tone. "This survival game is inherently beyond common sense." He then stood up, took out the armor-piercing Tang saber from his storage space, and gripped it in his hand. "Follow behind me, and don't stray more than a meter away from me." "Okay." The sisters nodded in unison. Wu Di pushed open the car door first, the armor-piercing Tang saber hanging by his side, and walked steadily toward the supermarket ruins. Sisters Lin Shi and Lin Yu followed closely behind, one on the left and one on the right, not daring to even breathe loudly. The supermarket entrance had long since disappeared, leaving only a pitch-black opening that looked like the mouth of a giant beast. The moment they stepped inside, a smell of mold, dust, and decay rushed toward them. Shelves were toppled over, metal frames were twisted and deformed, and the floor was littered with broken packaging bags and rotten debris, a complete mess. The further they walked inside, the dimmer the light became. In the end, there was almost nothing left but thick darkness. Sisters Lin Shi and Lin Yu had limited vision, and their heartbeats quickened. They could only instinctively reach out and gently grab the corner of Wu Di's clothes, as if grasping at the last straw. "Big brother Wu Di, it's so dark in here." Lin Yu's voice trembled. Wu Di didn't look back, but said calmly, "Don't be afraid, follow me." His five senses had long since surpassed the limits of ordinary people, and even in this darkness, he could clearly see every corner. Just as the three of them reached the depths of the supermarket, Wu Di's eyes suddenly turned cold. Three black shadows, as if seeping out of the darkness, suddenly lunged from behind the collapsed shelves. They had human-like figures, gray-black skin, mouths split open to reveal sharp teeth, and arms like sharp claws as they pounced directly at Wu Di, who was in the lead. Sisters Lin Shi and Lin Yui were so frightened that they instantly held their breath, their faces turning deathly pale. However, the next second, Wu Di's wrist flicked slightly. Swish, swish, swish. 3 soft sounds. 3 black mist-infected didn't even manage to get close before their heads flew off in unison. Their bodies fell to the ground, twitched twice, and then stopped moving, with black blood slowly flowing onto the floor. From start to finish, it took no more than a second. Sisters Lin Shi and Lin Yu stood there blankly, unable to react for a long time. Wu Di didn't even glance at the corpses on the ground, his tone calm. "Let's go back. There's no point in continuing to search." It wasn't until they walked out of the supermarket and returned to the sunlight that the sisters let out a long sigh of relief. In that moment just now, they really thought they were doomed. But Wu Di's strike was so fast that they didn't even have time to be afraid. Lin Yue looked at Wu Di's back, and besides awe, there was a hint of deep reliance in her eyes. Wu Di looked up and gazed once again at the skyscraper towering into the clouds in the center of the city. "Since there's nothing in the small buildings, we'll head straight to the central skyscraper. There must be something." Chapter 53. Gold Radar. Emerging from the abandoned supermarket, Lin Shi and Lin Yu were still shaken, following closely behind Wu Di as they hurried back to the RV. Only then did the sisters' taut nerves relax slightly. Wu Di pushed open the vehicle door and took the driver's seat first, then turned to look at the sisters, who were still catching their breath. "Let's deal with lunch first. We need to be well fed to have the energy to handle the dangers ahead." Upon hearing this, Lin Yu instantly forgot her fear and nodded repeatedly. Great, Big brother Wu Di, I've been hungry for a while." Wu Di looked at Lin Shi and said, "Currently, our supplies only consist of rice, meat, and eggs. Just make whatever you can, as long as it's enough for the 3 of us." "Okay, leave it to me." Lin Shi nodded without a moment's hesitation and turned to walk into the RV's simple kitchen. "Go back and rest for a bit. Get ready to set off." Once everything was settled, Wu Di said to the sisters. "Understood," Lin Yu said, raising her hand. "Okay, big brother Wu Di, call us when you're ready to go." As Lin Shi said this, she pulled her younger sister out of the vehicle. Wu Di sat in the driver's seat, thinking about what to do next, when he suddenly remembered the panoramic perception radar blueprint, green quality, he had obtained previously, Chapter 45. He hadn't examined it carefully at the time, but perhaps this blueprint could come in handy now. Thinking of this, Wu Di moved his mind and retrieved the blueprint from his storage space. Panoramic perception radar blueprint, green quality, effect, basic panoramic detection device, capable of detecting basic environmental conditions and supply crates within a 10-meter radius. Crafting requirements: metal block X3, plastic X1, rubber X1, glass X1, electronic component X1. Wu Di raised an eyebrow slightly. This basic detection function was already possessed by his level 4 vehicle, so it was useless at the current stage. However, the effects would surely increase after an upgrade. "Lin Yu, come here for a second and use your talent to give me a boost." Coming, Big Brother. Wu-Di opened the door. Panoramic Perception Radar Blueprint, green quality, promoted 1 tier to Panoramic Perception Radar Blueprint, blue quality. Panoramic Perception Radar Blueprint, blue quality effect, basic panoramic detection device, capable of detecting basic environmental conditions and supply crates within a 30-meter radius. Crafting requirements: metal block X5, plastic X2, rubber X2, glass X2, electronic component X3. Checking that the materials were sufficient, he crafted it immediately and activated his talent again. Panoramic Perception Radar, blue quality, promoted 2 tiers to vehicle-mounted full-domain scanning radar, gold quality. Wu-Di's eyes lit up. He hurriedly checked the final attributes, and a surge of wild joy instantly welled up in his heart. Vehicle-mounted full-domain scanning radar, gold quality. High-performance vehicle-mounted scanning device. Achieves full-domain environmental perception. Can display all living beings and supply crates within a 1,000-meter radius in real time. Energy consumption plus 50% when in use. A 1,000-meter range. With this gold-quality radar, he no longer had to worry about missing any supplies while exploring the rust-corroded wasteland city. After installation, a brand-new radar interface instantly popped up on the central control screen. A yellow dot was particularly conspicuous, less than 200 meters from his current position. Surrounding the yellow dot were over a dozen dense red dots, moving slowly. Wu-Di didn't even need to think to know that these red dots were definitely indicators of black mist infected. "It's right ahead. Don't go back for now. Tell Lin Shi to follow my vehicle." Wu-Di started the RV immediately. After driving for less than 3 minutes, he arrived at the target location, the ruins of an abandoned community convenience store. This convenience store was much smaller than the previous supermarket. Half of the outer wall had collapsed, and the roof exposed dilapidated steel bars. Broken glass and discarded cardboard boxes were scattered at the entrance, and the sign above the door had long since become illegible. The radar showed that the supply crate was inside the convenience store, and the surrounding red dots were all inside as well. Wu-Di parked the RV a short distance away and turned to tell Lin Yu, "Stay in the vehicle and lock the doors. No matter what sounds you hear, do not come out. I'm going to retrieve the supply crate." "Understood, Big Brother Wu-Di. Be careful. I'm going to go keep my sister company." Wu-Di nodded, took the armor-piercing Tang saber out of his storage space, pushed open the vehicle door, and strode toward the convenience store. Just as he approached the entrance, he heard low growls from inside. 7 or 8 black mist-infected sensed the movement and suddenly rushed out from inside the convenience store. Swish, swish, swish. In less than 10 seconds, all the black mist-infected had been slain. Walking into the convenience store, the interior was in shambles. Shelves had collapsed, and debris was scattered everywhere. Beneath the convenience store's checkout counter, a supply crate sat quietly. Wu-Di stepped forward, bent down to pick up the supply crate, turned, and walked out of the convenience store, heading back toward the RV. Inside the van, Lin Shi and Lin Yue had been staring intently in the direction of the convenience store. Seeing Wu-Di walk out unscathed, still holding the supply crate, both of them let out a long sigh of relief, relieved smiles appearing on their faces. Wu-Di returned to the RV, placed the supply crate on the coffee table, and looked at the radar interface still flickering on the central control screen, a faint smile appearing at the corner of his mouth. With the vehicle-mounted full-domain scanning radar, all the resources in this rust-corroded wasteland city would be his for the taking. Chapter 54. Other players. He raised his hand to check the time on his wristband, 13:09. He had originally intended to head straight to the skyscrapers in the city's center, but after looking at the radar interface on the center console, his mind quietly changed. Now that he had a radar capable of covering a 1,000-meter range, there was no need to rush toward the city center. He only needed to slowly collect supply crates along the city's edge while familiarizing himself with the environment of the rust-corroded wasteland city. Having made up his mind, Wu-Di sent a private message to Lin Yu. "Continue moving out. Keep close to me. Wu Di started the RV and slowly drove away from the abandoned convenience store, heading toward the edge of the city. Both vehicles drove steadily along the dilapidated streets. The radar interface kept on at all times, carefully screening for surrounding supplies and living things. After moving forward for only about 10 minutes, the radar interface on the center console suddenly changed. A few red dots appeared, clustered together just 1,000 meters ahead. Wu Di raised an eyebrow slightly and slowed the vehicle down. As he continued to drive forward, when they were about 200 meters away from the red dots, a muffled sound of talking drifted over on the wind, intermittent and mixed with faint roars. Wu Di's eyes shifted, and he instantly realized he had encountered other survival players. After all, in these apocalyptic ruins, apart from him and sisters Lin Shi and Lin Yu, only other survival players would make human sounds. Finally encountered other people, huh? I hope you don't go looking for trouble, Wu Di muttered to himself. 2 minutes later, by the side of the road not far ahead, 2 Level 2 vans were parked. The bodies of the vehicles were covered in scratches, and several pieces of glass were shattered. It looked as though they had already been through quite a few battles. They were clearly vehicles belonging to other players. Wu Di looked up, and the sounds of talking and roaring were coming from the second floor of an abandoned shopping mall ahead. Wu Di parked the RV in a safe zone about 30 meters away from those 2 Level 2 vans. Just as he pushed open the vehicle door, Lin Shi and Lin Yu from the van next to him also got out and walked quickly to his side. Lin Yu's eyes brightened as she pointed at the 2 vans not far away, her tone excited and thrilled. "Big brother Wu Di! Look, there really are other people. That's their vehicle." Compared to Lin Yu's excitement, Lin Shi was much calmer. She looked up at the vans ahead, then looked at Wu Di and asked softly, "Big brother Wu Di, what should we do now? Should we go over and take a look?" Wu Di gazed toward the second floor of the mall, pondered for a moment, and said, "You two go back to the RV first. No matter what sounds you hear, don't come down. Those people are inside. I'll go in and take a look. Maybe they know some information about this rust-corroded wasteland city." "Okay, big brother Wu Di, you must be careful." Lin Shi and Lin Yu nodded simultaneously without the slightest hesitation. They turned and walked quickly to the RV, closed the door tight, and stared intently at the mall in the direction outside the window, keeping a close watch on Wu Di's movements at all times. Wu Di gripped the armor-piercing Tang saber in his hand and walked toward the abandoned shopping mall. His footsteps were light, making not a single sound, and he quickly went up to the second floor along the dilapidated stairs. Just as he stepped onto the second-floor corridor, the scene before him came clearly into view. 2 men wearing tattered clothing were hiding inside a shop, leaning against the remains of a counter, struggling desperately to fend off the attacks of 6 black mist infected. One of them held a steel pipe, and the other held a machete. Their bodies were covered in wounds, their complexions were pale, and their breathing was rapid. They clearly could not hold out for much longer. The 6 black mist infected were continuously and frantically lunging at the 2 men, their roars ringing out incessantly. Just then they caught a glimpse of Wu Di standing at the top of the stairs out of the corner of their eyes. Hope instantly ignited in their eyes, and they used all their strength to shout for help. "Help! Please save us, I beg you!" Wu Di did not hesitate in the slightest. He took a step, and his figure rushed forward like an afterimage. Swish, 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 blade light flashed, and no trajectory could be seen. Those black mist infected that were frantically lunging at the 2 men were already all decapitated, their bodies collapsing heavily onto the ground. The 2 men stood there blankly, the weapons in their hands dropping to the floor with a clatter. Their eyes were filled with shock and disbelief, their mouths hanging wide open, unable to say a word for a long time. They never would have imagined that this man who had appeared so suddenly was so incredibly powerful. Wu Di spoke indifferently to the 2 men who were still stunned. "Don't just stand there, follow me downstairs." The 2 men finally reacted and nodded hurriedly, expressions of relief at having survived a disaster appearing on their faces. They stumbled to keep up with Wu Di's pace, thanking him incessantly as they walked. "Thank you. "Thank you so much, brother. If it weren't for you, the two of us would definitely have died today." Wu Di did not respond. He led the two men down the stairs and walked toward the direction of the RV. Lin Shi and Lin Yue, who were in the van, saw Wu Di walking out with two people. Expressions of surprise appeared on their faces, and they stared intently at the two strange men. Wu Di stopped, turned to look at the two men behind him, and said with a flat tone, "Speak. Who are you? How did you end up together? Do you have any information about this rust-corroded wasteland city?" Chapter 55, First Contact. Upon hearing Wu Di's question, the two men did not answer immediately. Their gazes simultaneously shifted to the RV behind Wu Di, their eyes filled with surprise and envy. The RV was completely intact and still emitted a faint metallic luster, which was a world of difference compared to their two dilapidated Level 2 vans. One of the shorter men was the first to snap out of it, and he couldn't help but ask, "Brother, where did you get this RV from? It's too awesome." Wu Di frowned slightly, his tone cold. "That is none of your business. Answer my question." The short man was taken aback by Wu Di's tone, and a trace of embarrassment appeared on his face. Just as he wanted to say something more, the tall, sturdy man beside him quickly pulled him back, offered an ingratiating smile to Wu Di, and hurriedly explained, "Brother, I'm sorry. He doesn't know how to speak properly. My name is Li Lei, and I used to be from Linhai City. He is Wang Hao, also from Linhai City. We met at a highway junction earlier and teamed up to survive. After the system released the regional announcement today, we followed the direction and encountered this rust-corroded wasteland city. We just got in not long ago." Just then, the door of the RV opened. Lin Shi and Lin Yue stepped out and quickly walked to Wu Di's side. Wang Hao caught a glimpse of the sisters and was instantly stunned, blurting out subconsciously, "What beautiful twins." As soon as the words left his mouth, Wang Hao realized he had spoken out of turn, and his face flushed slightly. Li Lei quickly tried to smooth things over, saying sheepishly to sisters Lin Shi and Lin Yu, Sorry. My companion didn't mean anything else. He just thought you two looked so clean and tidy, and he was a bit too surprised." Lin Yu frowned and muttered in a low voice, "How rude?" Lin Shi quickly grabbed Lin Yu's arm gently, signaling her with her eyes not to say anything more. Lin Yu then pursed her lips and remained silent. Wu Di paid no attention to their small interactions and continued to look at Li Lei and Wang Hao, his tone remaining indifferent. "You just came in. Do you have any other information about this rust-corroded wasteland city? Like a map or something?" Li Lei quickly shook his head and said helplessly, "We really don't know anything. We encountered monsters as soon as we started exploring, and we didn't even have time to look at the surrounding environment, let alone any information." Hearing this, Wu Di nodded, asked no more, and turned to sisters Lin Shi and Lin Yu, saying, "Let's go." He then looked at Li Lei and Wang Hao, adding indifferently, "Take care of yourselves." "Wait, brother!" Wang Hao quickly stepped forward and called out to Wu Di, an anxious look on his face. "Brother, you are so powerful, and your RV is so good. Can you let us join you? There are too many monsters in this rust-corroded wasteland city, and we can't hold out at all. If we team up, we can look out for each other." Li Lei also hurriedly chimed in. "That's right, brother. It would be safer together. Although we aren't very strong, we can help find supplies and guard the vehicles. We won't hold you back." As soon as he finished speaking, he remembered the terrifying strength Wu Di displayed when he killed the black mist infected earlier, and his tone unconsciously weakened, swallowing the rest of his words. Wu Di stopped, looked back at them, and said firmly, "Not necessary. We have the ability to protect ourselves. Take care of yourselves." A look of dissatisfaction appeared on Wang Hao's face, and he raised his voice. "Brother, how can you be like this? We are all humans. We should stick together in this place. No matter how powerful you are alone, there will always be times when you can't manage everything, right?" Wu Di didn't speak, just shot Wang Hao a cold look. That gaze was icy and bone-chilling, carrying an unquestionable pressure. Wang Hao stiffened all over, the words at his lips instantly swallowed back, and the dissatisfaction on his face was replaced by fear. Seeing this, Li Lei quickly stepped forward and pulled Wang Hao back, apologizing repeatedly to Wu Di. Sorry, brother. He is too impulsive. Please don't take it to heart. We won't bother you anymore. Take care. Wu Di didn't say anything more, turned around, and walked toward the RV. Lin Shi and Lin Yu looked at each other, quickly followed Wu Di's footsteps, and boarded the RV. Soon Wu Di started the RV and slowly drove away, leaving Li Lei and Wang Hao standing there. Not until the silhouette of the RV disappeared at the end of the ruins did Wang Hao break free from Li Lei's hand and ask, looking puzzled, "Why did you pull me? He is so powerful. If we could get him to take us with him, we could live much more easily in the future, and we wouldn't have to fear those monsters anymore." Li Lei rolled his eyes helplessly and said in a low voice, "Are you stupid? You also know he is so powerful, yet you dared to speak to him in that tone. Aren't you afraid that if he got unhappy for a moment, he would just kill us?" Wang Hao was stunned, the puzzlement on his face instantly turning into lingering fear. He subconsciously touched his own neck and muttered, I was too anxious just now and didn't think that much." Li Lei sighed, took a look at the broken scene around him, and said in a heavy tone, "Forget it, don't think about it anymore. Let's just be careful and slowly look for supplies. Relying on others is not as good as relying on oneself." Chapter 56. Sleeping Together. The RV slowly drove away from the vicinity of the abandoned shopping mall, continuing to move along the edge of the rust-corroded wasteland city. Inside the van, Lin Yui leaned against the window, her tone filled with obvious disdain. "Sister, it's a good thing Big Brother Wu Di didn't agree to team up with them. That Wang Hao is so annoying. He has no manners and acts as if it's only natural for Big Brother Wu Di to take them along." Lin Shi smiled lightly, her fingertips gently brushing the stray hair by her ear, her tone calm. "Don't you understand Big Brother Wu Di by now? His guard against outsiders is much stronger than ours. Even for us sisters Lin Shi and Lin Yu, it took so long for him to slowly let down his guard a little, and even now he hasn't fully trusted us." Lin Yu's eyes lit up. She leaned closer to Lin Shi, lowered her voice, and said with a hint of mischief, "Sister, I think Big Brother Wu Di treats you differently. You're so pretty. The last time we first met him, he was stunned. I'm sure he'll fall for you." "What are you saying?" Lin Shi's cheeks instantly flushed red. She quickly reached out and patted Lin Yu's arm, her eyes filled with panic. "Don't let your imagination run wild. I think you're the one who likes Big Brother Wu Di. You're always so excited whenever you see him." Lin Yu didn't refute this, just covered her mouth and giggled secretly. The atmosphere in the vehicle, amidst the oppressive ruins of the apocalypse, was rarely a bit more relaxed. In the RV ahead, Wu Di drove with focus, the golden radar on the center console remaining on the entire time. Time slipped away bit by bit, gradually transitioning into the dimness of dusk. Wu Di searched methodically, relying on the vehicle-mounted full-domain scanning radar, until the time on his wristband jumped to 18, at which point he slowly stopped the RV. This afternoon they found another 10 supply crates. During the entire search process, apart from a few scattered black mist infected, they did not encounter any other survival players. Wu Di parked the RV on a relatively open roadside. There were no traces of monsters around, so it was considered temporarily safe. He sent a private message to Lin Yu. "You guys come over to my RV." Not long after, Lin Shi and Lin Yu quickly boarded the RV. As soon as she entered, Lin Yu couldn't help but sigh in relief and said with a satisfied expression, "Big Brother Wu Di, the temperature today is just too high and too hot. Your RV is much more comfortable. It's nice and cool, much better than our van." Lin Shi also nodded and echoed softly, "Especially since 3 p.m., even with the air conditioning on in our van. It was unbearably hot. We were drenched in sweat, and even breathing felt difficult." Wu Di was slightly taken aback upon hearing this. His physique had already freed him from the average human's dependence on the environment. Such high temperatures made little difference to him compared to room temperature, so he hadn't paid any attention to it. He turned to look at the external temperature display on the center console. His pupils constricting slightly, the screen clearly showed that the outside temperature had reached 50 degrees Celsius. You have to understand, the sun had already set completely, and the sky had gradually darkened. Under normal circumstances, the temperature should have dropped, yet the temperature here remained outrageously high. I saw in the regional channel that everyone is talking about this. Lin Yu picked up her wristband, swiped it a few times, and said, "Many players who entered the public area today have left the city one after another this afternoon. They said that while the temperature outside the city is also high, it's still barely survivable. The temperature inside the city is just too high. You can't stay here for long. If we stay any longer, even if we aren't killed by monsters, we'll be roasted to death." Wu Dai fell silent, his fingers tapping gently on the steering wheel as he sank into deep thought. Could it really be because of this rust-corroded wasteland city that the temperature remained abnormally high? If so, would the temperature continue to rise late at night? Should he take the two sisters out of the city now? It didn't matter to him personally. The high temperature had no effect on him, and even if it got hotter, he would be perfectly fine. Moreover, his RV had a purple-quality air conditioner, paired with a vehicle-mounted nuclear reactor, so it was completely unaffected by the external high temperatures. But the sisters Lin Shi and Lin Yu were different. They were just ordinary humans without his physique, and the conditions in their van were too primitive to withstand such high temperatures. After a moment of contemplation, Wu Di made his decision. He looked up at the sisters, his tone calm but unquestionable. "You two will sleep in my RV tonight. It's not affected by the outside temperature in here, and I'll just sleep on the sofa." "Really?" Lin Yu's eyes lit up instantly. She jumped up in excitement and grabbed Lin Shi's hand. That's great! That's great! We finally don't have to sleep on the van seats." Lin Shi's cheeks flushed red again, and she said in a low voice, "Big brother Wu Di, wouldn't that be inappropriate? We sleep in your room, and you sleep on the sofa. What's the trouble with that?" Lin Yu quickly grabbed Lin Shi and kept persuading her. "Sister, we've been sleeping on the seats for so many days. They're rock hard, and we can't sleep well at night. My whole body aches. Now that we finally have a chance to sleep on a comfortable bed, don't you want to get some good rest? That's settled." Looking at Lin Yu's excitement, and then glancing at the calm Wu Di, Lin Shi's unease gradually dissipated. She nodded gently and said in a low voice, "Then I'll trouble you, big brother Wu Di." Wu Di shook his head. "It's no trouble. We are teammates, aren't we?" As he spoke, he stood up and walked toward the supply crate beside the sofa, while Lin Yue pulled Lin Shi along, curiously examining the bedroom of the RV, her face full of anticipation. Finally, they would be able to get a peaceful and comfortable night's sleep in the apocalypse. Chapter 57. Bountiful Supplies. Wu Di moved all the supply crates he had found during the day next to the sofa, arranging them one by one. Looking down, there were a total of 11 supply crates. As expected, the supply crates in the rust-corroded wasteland city are much more plentiful than those that appeared along the roadside before. If it weren't for the obstacles littering the city's streets, with collapsed buildings and broken steel bars everywhere, preventing the RV from moving quickly and forcing it to inch along while checking each spot, he felt today's haul could have been at least 4 or 5 times greater. Even so, 11 supply crates were already a harvest far exceeding expectations. Wu Di bent down to inspect the quality of each supply crate one by one, quickly tallying them up. 1 silver quality, 2 black iron quality, 6 bronze quality, and 2 most basic ordinary supply crates. He looked up at the 2 sisters who were curiously peeking from the bedroom doorway and said, "Lin Yu, apply your talent buff to your sister. Then have your sister open this silver supply crate and these 2 black iron supply crates." "Got it." Lin Yu immediately nodded, raising her hand to cast the talent buff on Lin Shi. "Sister, the buff is applied. Hurry and open the crates." Lin Shi gave a slight nod, walked over to the supply crates, her eyes carrying a hint of anticipation. Following Wu Dai's gesture, she first picked up the 2 black iron supply crates, shimmering with a gray-black light, then lifted the silver supply crate gleaming with a silvery white luster. Wu Dai, meanwhile, took the remaining 2 ordinary supply crates and 6 bronze supply crates, opening them one after another with brisk, efficient movements. As he opened them, he sorted and organized the contents, placing them neatly to one side of the sofa. First were the 2 ordinary supply crates, containing basic items: 5 metal blocks, 3 glass, 4 rubber, 10 units of fuel, 2 bags of bread, 3 bottles of mineral water, 1 bag of sausages, and 4 packs of instant noodles. Next came the 6 bronze supply crates: 26 metal blocks, 30 glass, 22 rubber, 15 plastic, 8 electronic components, 100 units of fuel, 1 case of milk, 3 packs of biscuits, 4 cans of luncheon meat, 1 bag of dried noodles, 1 bag of tomatoes, 1 bag of potatoes. All were ordinary but essential supplies. By now, Lin Shi had also opened the 2 black iron supply crates. She took out the items inside one by one, softly reading them aloud. 30 metal blocks, 18 rubber, 15 electronic components, 40 units of fuel, 1 bag of 5 kilograms chicken flour, 1 case of white liquor. Wu Di nodded slightly. The haul from the black iron supply crates was decent, and these food ingredients would just improve their meals in the coming days. Finally, the gazes of all 3 focused on that silver supply crate, the highest quality supply crate encountered today, and the most anticipated one. Lin Shi took a deep breath and slowly opened the crate. The contents instantly came into view. 30 electronic components, 100 units of fuel, 1 bag of 10 kilograms rice. Lin Shi recited as she took out the supplies. When she picked up the last item, her eyes instantly lit up. And a blueprint. It's blue quality. Wu Di quickly reached out to take the blueprint. Protective coating blueprint, blue quality. Vehicle accessory can be applied to the vehicle's surface. After application, it enhances protective power, resisting slight corrosion and impact. Crafting requirements: 5 glass, 5 rubber. This blueprint is very practical. Wu Di stored the blueprint away. Lin Yue leaned over to take a look, saying excitedly, let me see, big brother, Wu Di." Lin Shi nodded, a faint smile appearing on her face, but she didn't speak. Wu Di sorted and organized all the supplies, placing the basic materials into the storage space and the food ingredients into the smart constant temperature refrigerator. Looking at the neatly arranged supplies, he felt a bit more settled in his heart. With these supplies, their living conditions had improved significantly, and it was time to consider which accessories to add to the vehicle. "You haven't used your trading chances, right?" "No, we haven't, big brother Wu Dai." Lin Yu chimed in cooperatively, and Lin Shi also nodded beside her. "Go check the trading channel to see if you can trade some water resources for daily living supplies. We're not short on water resources now. We need to improve our quality of life." I'll do it. I've traded before. These ingredients that need cooking aren't wanted in the trading channel. Before, everything my sister and I found like this. We traded away for resources." Lin Yu raised her hand and called out happily. Wu Di thought for a moment and understood. In such a survival game, on one hand, survivors had no time to cook, and on the other hand, this high-temperature weather wasn't suitable for cooking. He had suffered plenty back when he gathered brushwood outside to make a fire and roast meat. The most important point was that his RV came with built-in cooking utensils, which other survivors likely didn't have. "Then you two go ahead and do that. I have some things I need to think about." After saying this, Wu Dai walked over to the driver's seat, lay down, closed his eyes, and concentrated. He needed to properly organize his existing resources and consider where to use the 3 remaining talent usage opportunities he had left for today to maximize the benefits. Chapter 58. Improvement. Wu Di leaned back in the driver's seat, closing his eyes to organize his thoughts. He knew very well that Lin Yue only had one last opportunity for her talent boost today, and he still had 3 talent uses remaining. Previously, he would save 1 talent use every day to improve his own physique, but now his mental strength could no longer keep up with his physique, so forcing further attribute increases was of little significance. So, He decided to use all 3 of today's talent opportunities to upgrade the vehicle. He quickly reviewed all the blueprints and accessories in his possession that could be upgraded, and 3 targets immediately came to mind. The first was the explosion-proof tempered glass design blueprint, Blue Quality, Chapter 47. Explosion-proof tempered glass design blueprint, Blue Quality, vehicle accessory, significantly increases glass strength, capable of resisting heavy blunt force impacts, small arms fire, and explosive shocks. Production requirements: glass times 25, metal block times 2. This was a blueprint that had already been upgraded with his talent, but he hadn't had enough materials to craft it yet. Glass was the weak link of the vehicle, and if he wanted to gain a foothold in a place like the rust-corroded wasteland city, which was filled with monsters and the potential for surprise attacks from other players, reinforcing the windows was the top priority. Once crafted, he could use his talent again to directly upgrade the finished product. The second was the protective coating design blueprint, Blue Quality, he had just opened. This item also improved defense, and its base was Blue Quality. According to the pattern of his talent, as long as he upgraded it twice, the final product would be at least Gold Quality. However, Wu Dai also had concerns. Blueprints upgraded from Blue to Purple Quality had a high probability of having huge material requirements, and he had yet to see the production requirements for a Purple Quality blueprint. If the material gap was huge, his current reserves might not be enough. The third was the storage space expansion design blueprint, Blue Quality, given to him by Su Wanwan, Chapter 26. Storage space expansion design blueprint, Blue Quality, storage space plus 20 slots. Production requirements: metal block times 20, electronic component times 20. This one had also been upgraded long ago. Now that he had the 2 sisters, Lin Shi and Lin Yu, plus the Gold Quality radar scanning, supplies would only increase. The 10-slot storage space was no longer enough. After weighing his options, Wu Di finalized his plan in his mind. First, craft the explosion-proof tempered glass to securely increase defense. Then, upgrade the protective coating design blueprint to see if the materials were sufficient to support production. If there were enough materials, he would use the remaining talent opportunity on the finished coating. If there weren't enough materials, he would save the last opportunity for the storage space expansion design blueprint. With his thoughts cleared, Wu Di no longer hesitated. He opened his eyes and looked at Lin Yu, who was busy on the trading channel. "Lin Yu, come here and use your last talent boost of the day on me." "It's already done, big brother Wu Di," Lin Yu replied immediately. Lin Shi was already in the kitchen preparing dinner, and judging by the situation, Lin Yu had already traded for quite a few good things on the trading channel. Wu Di didn't think any further and immediately executed his plan. Ding, talent rule breakthrough effective. Item promoted by 1 tier. Explosion-proof tempered glass, Blue Quality, has been promoted to Composite bulletproof crystallized glass, Purple Quality. Composite bulletproof crystallized glass, Purple Quality. Vehicle core accessory, capable of stably resisting medium-caliber firearm shooting, high-speed shrapnel, and explosive shocks. Wu Di did not hesitate and clicked to install it directly. Immediately after, he turned his gaze to the protective coating he had just obtained. Ding, talent rule breakthrough effective. Item promoted by 1 tier. Protective coating design blueprint, Blue Quality, has been promoted to Anti-corrosion stealth. Composite coating design blueprint, Purple Quality. Anti-corrosion stealth. Composite coating design blueprint. Vehicle accessory. Core reinforcement for anti-corrosion. Absorbs radar waves. Weakens infrared. Reduces detection and lock-on risk, while providing basic protection. Production requirements: metal block 10, rubber 10, quantum primordial substance 5. Quantum primordial substance. What is this? Wu Di stared at this Purple Quality blueprint in a daze for a moment, then shook his head, deciding to finish what was in front of him first. He took out the storage space expansion design blueprint and chose to craft it directly. Ding. Storage space expansion design blueprint production complete. Storage space plus 20. The final result left Wu Di completely stunned. No one told him that this item would take effect immediately upon production, without even seeing a finished product. Then where should I use the remaining talent opportunity now? After being stunned for a while without figuring it out, Wu Di didn't dwell on it. His gaze swept over and landed on the engine blueprint he had exchanged for at the supply station. Just in time, Lin Yue's 10-minute boost time was about to end. Ding. Talent Rule Breakthrough. Effective. Item promoted by 1 tier. Engine Design Blueprint, green quality, has been promoted to Turbine Pulse Engine, blue quality. Wu Di immediately checked the attributes after the upgrade. Turbine Pulse Engine, blue quality. Vehicle Core Accessory, adopts multi-stage turbine and pulse supercharging structure. Power output, significantly increased. Startup response faster. Continuous driving, explosive power stronger. Speed plus 50, increases fuel consumption by 20%. Production requirements. Metal block 8, rubber 1, plastic 1. It has more speed than my current blue quality vehicle engine, but it also increases fuel consumption. The improvement isn't big. I'll wait until the talent refreshes tomorrow to see. He casually opened the vehicle panel and reviewed the current status. Vehicle? Level 4 vehicle. Top speed, 200 kilometers per hour. Vehicle accessories items, lucky pendant, gold, vehicle engine, blue, composite bulletproof, crystallized glass, purple, high-strength alloy chassis, blue, heavy-duty explosion-proof off-road tire, blue, vehicle-mounted nuclear reactor, orange, smart, constant-temperature refrigerator, purple, atmospheric water collection unit, orange, super alloy fortress armor, purple, vehicle-mounted full-domain scanning radar, gold. As expected, as long as the resources keep up, my development will definitely be explosive. Wu Di looked at the panel, feeling secretly happy. The next second, he was suddenly taken aback. That's not right. Doesn't the system return the old accessories I replaced to me? Previously, he was solely focused on surviving and hadn't thought about this. Now that he was comfortable, he suddenly realized the problem. Big brother Wu Di, come eat. Big sister made a lot of dishes. Lin Yu's voice came from the dining table, interrupting his thoughts. Forget it. I won't think about it. If it doesn't return them, so be it. I don't care about these few resources anymore. Chapter 59. You must eat even if you don't want to. Wu Di looked at the food before him. Simple, but steaming. Tomato and eggs. Shredded potatoes with meat. A plate of roasted meat. Plus a few bowls of white rice. He looked at the two sisters sitting properly across from him with clean features. For a moment he was actually in a daze, as if he weren't in the rust-corroded wasteland city of the survival game, but had returned to some ordinary evening in the real world. Just now, you were exchanged for quite a few seasonings and vegetables on the trading channel. Lin Shi spoke softly, her tone gentle. It's just that the meat in the refrigerator is almost gone. Meat is hard to come by on the trading channel. Wu Di suddenly remembered. Of the wolf meat he hunted before, he only kept 10 units, and the rest were all exchanged for points at the supply station. As for that blue-quality dog meat, he had always left it in the wristband space and hadn't put it in the refrigerator. Over the past 2 days, he had been focused on traveling, exploring, and upgrading his vehicle, completely ignoring this matter. Lin Yu muttered while shoveling food into her mouth. This survival game is really something. Why limit the number of trades? So many things I want can't be traded for. Lin Shi replied casually. If the number of trades wasn't limited, wouldn't all resources end up in the hands of a few people? Wu Di paused his movements and gave Lin Shi a surprised look but didn't speak. He rarely traded, and his 3 daily trade attempts were almost never used up. He had never thought deeply about this. The sisters' casual chat actually made him suddenly understand the system's underlying logic. He casually opened the vehicle rankings and sneered inwardly. Forget limiting trades, even if trades were completely open. He was confident no one could catch up to him. No matter how much basic resources were piled up, it was useless. In this survival game, quantitative change couldn't produce qualitative change. He glanced over the rankings. First place, XXX, vehicle level, 4, vehicle points, 22,430. Second place, Zhao Lei, vehicle level, 3, vehicle points, 173. Third place, XXX, vehicle level, 3, vehicle points, 172. Fourth place, 30th, vehicle level, 3, vehicle points, 171. Fifth place, Lin Chen, vehicle level, 3, vehicle points, vehicle level, 3, vehicle points, XXX, vehicle level, 3, vehicle points. Eighth place, vehicle level, 3, vehicle level, 3, vehicle points, 3, free. He was at the top, far ahead of the rest. Some names were familiar, while more had hidden themselves just like him. Woody put down the wristband and suddenly asked, "What are your basic attributes now?" Lin Yu immediately chimed in. "My sister and I both originally had Physique 6 and Spirit 14. Now with the team bonus, they've become Physique 7 and Spirit 18. Lin Shi nodded gently from the side, confirming her sister's words. Lin Yu's eyes sparkled as she stared at Big Brother Woody. "Big Brother Woody, what's your physique? Has it reached 20? I've never seen someone as powerful as you. You're almost like a freak." "Yeah." Lin Shi immediately glared at her. "Watch your mouth." Lin Yu shrank her neck and muttered softly, "But it's true." Woody watched the sisters banter with a calm expression and spoke slowly. "I have beast meat here that can permanently increase physique. I'll put it in the refrigerator in a bit. From today on, each of you must finish 1 unit every day." Lin Yu's first reaction was her face falling. I have to eat more today? I can't eat another bite. 1 unit is a whole pound of meat." Lin Shi hurriedly waved her hand. "Big Brother Woody, there's no need. We can't help you in battle anyway. It's best if you use this kind of thing yourself." Woody's tone was flat, but carried an undeniable certainty. "Just eat it. I no longer have any use for it." Woody then stood up and put all the remaining 28 units of blue-quality dog meat from his wristband space into the smart constant-temperature refrigerator. Fortunately, the refrigerator came with 5 cubic meters of space. Otherwise, with the current pile of ingredients and supplies, it might not have fit. "I finished eating. The items are in the refrigerator. You must finish them by 12 o'clock today." "I understand, Big Brother Woody." Lin Shi nodded obediently. Lin Yu, however, wrinkled her small face and said pitifully, "Can I not eat it? I really can't eat anymore, and I don't dare to go up and fight monsters anyway." "If you don't eat it, I'll stuff it down your throat," Lin Shi said with a stern face. "Okay, sister, can you stop making roasted meat? We've been eating it every day lately. I'm about to get sick of it." Wu Di didn't bother with the sisters bickering anymore. He turned and went to the driver's seat to lie down. Outside the window, the sky had completely darkened and the time was nearing 20. A trace of unease inexplicably rose in his heart. Usually, that little girl Su Wanwan would have contacted him on her own initiative long ago, but today, until now, there hadn't been a single message. Chapter 60. New Team Member. Wu Di leaned back in the driver's seat, his fingertips repeatedly stroking the wristband. The unease in his heart grew stronger. After a moment of hesitation, he picked up the wristband and sent a private message to Su Wanwan. "Have you run into any danger? Tell me immediately if something happens. I can help you." After sending it, he closed his eyes, his thoughts drifting involuntarily. In fact, he had been considering whether to invite Su Wanwan to join his team for a while now. He had long since taken an interest in Su Wanwan's talent skill, but he hadn't found the right opportunity to bring it up over the past 2 days, and he wasn't sure if Su Wanwan would agree. Although he was worried about Su Wanwan's safety, since sisters Lin Shi and Lin Yu brought the life and death together item, his concerns had mostly vanished. As long as Su Wanwan hadn't completely lost her life, He could use the item's effect to pull her to his side in time. Especially over these past 2 days, he could clearly feel the uniqueness of this item. Sisters Lin Shi and Lin Yu's attitude toward him had long since lost its initial wariness, replaced by a touch of dependence and trust. He himself could also vaguely feel the effects brought by the item. Su Wanwan had always left a good impression on him as someone who knew how to be grateful. Now, with the life and death together item as a safety net, he had no more worries. As long as Su Wanwan was willing, he could have her join the team right now. Time passed slowly amidst Wu Di's stray thoughts, and before he knew it, another hour had gone by. In the RV's living room, the two sisters were still sitting on the sofa, slowly gnawing on the dog meat, their faces full of difficulty. Wu Di could clearly hear Lin Yu's quiet mumble, "If I'd known, I wouldn't have eaten so much earlier. This dog meat is too filling. I really want to take a shower. I really want to lie on a soft bed, and I never want to eat meat again." Although Lin Shi was also finding it hard to eat, she still patiently encouraged her younger sister. "Be good, eat slowly. You'll be fine once you finish. Big brother Wu Di is doing this for our own good. Eating this increases our physique, so we won't have to be so afraid of monsters in the future." Listening to the sisters' conversation, Wu Di's agitation increased a bit more, and with it, his worry for Su Wanwan intensified, nearly causing him to lose his patience. Just then, Su Wanwan's reply finally popped up. "Big Shot, can you please save me? I'm so scared. There are monsters everywhere, and my van is about to give out. I'm hiding inside, and don't dare to go out. They keep slamming against the car doors." The few short sentences were filled with helplessness and fear. One could even imagine Su Wanwan shivering inside the vehicle. Wu Di replied instantly, "Are you willing to trust me? If you just nod your head, I'll take you away from there right now." Almost instantly, Su Wanwan's message came through, filled with urgency and certainty. "I trust you, Big Shot. As long as I can leave this place, I'm willing to do anything. I'm almost at my limit. The car doors are about to be smashed open by them." Looking at the message, Wu Di no longer hesitated. He immediately opened the Life and Death Together contract interface and added Su Wanwan's name. Following that, he sent a message to Su Wanwan. "I've added you to the team contract. Accept it, and I'll pull you over immediately." As soon as he finished speaking, Wu Di saw that Su Wanwan's name was already on the Life and Death Together contract interface. He immediately activated the Life and Death Together item effect. He pushed open the car door and stepped out, his gaze sweeping the surroundings. Sure enough, about 10 meters away from the RV, a dilapidated level 2 van appeared out of thin air. The body was covered in scratches. The windows were shattered, and the doors were dented and deformed, clearly having suffered an intensive attack. The vehicle was also stained with quite a bit of black monster blood. "Su Wanwan," Wu Di spoke. His voice wasn't loud, but it carried a great deal of comfort. Inside the van, Su Wanwan, sitting in the driver's seat, was hugging her knees and shivering, the roars of monsters still echoing in her ears. Suddenly, she felt the surrounding roars vanish instantly, and the temperature around her became much hotter, as if she were in a furnace. She jerked her head up and looked out through the broken window, seeing Wu Di standing not far away, waving at her. Su Wanwan reacted instantly. It was Big Shot Wu Di who had saved her. The long-accumulated fear and grievance exploded in an instant. She pushed open the car door and ran out of the van, her eyes red and tears falling uncontrollably. She threw herself into Wu Di's arms, sobbing as she said, "Big Shot, I was so scared. I thought I was dead for sure."